G'day guys, welcome to a new episode. As you can see, I'm down the mud flats, one of my favourite places, but not really today. It's 40 degrees, it's hot. One of the hottest November days ever, for here anyway. Got my backpack. Whew, it's definitely hot. We're going on a camping mission. Probably read the title. Got this bad boy with me. And yeah, that's all we've got. We've got a few other things in the backpack that will help me. But in terms of gathering food, this is all we've got. I'll show you more when we get down to my first camp spot. And yeah, I guess hopefully I don't pass out by the time I get down there. I think we'll be right, but see you soon. Ew. So I'm trying to get over there. There's a little bit of a river here. Might have to take my shoes off to cross. It's a good time. This little river, I could find little stingrays or mussels or something in there, which comes off from the main river, and the main rivers might be a bit harder to find things. But yeah, it's a good sign. So I'll take my shoes off, we'll cross this, get to the other side. All this is edible. This stuff right here, it's called samphire. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but you can eat it. It's a succulent. Yeah, you can eat it. I don't know if I will. But at least we know it's all here. Broken glass, toilet roll, absolutely disgusting. Beer bottles, stuff left over from camp. Really grinds my gears, and I'm gonna put it in the video because it's just disgusting. You know, it doesn't take much to take your rubbish with you. You know, I would take some of that rubbish with me, but my load is just so heavy. Maybe on the way back, but oh, it's hard. I think this is it, guys. Might be camping here. So there's a storm coming, you can hear it, there's thunder. There's a lot of thunder. There's heavy clouds. I don't know how I'll go in this, but this is what I've got to sleep in. A hammock. It's a camping hammock. It's not much protection from a storm. Not many trees over us. It'll suck if it rains, but I guess we could kind of maybe make a shelter. But we'll set this up first. We'll see how we go. And at least we can relax for a little bit, because I'm exhausted. Might just do it. You can hear that storm. I don't know about the height difference. So off the ground, that's the main thing. You don't want to be on the ground where the spiders, snakes and all that other stuff is. Got the hammock. Look, I think it's going to be alright, honestly. Unless it pours down rain, which it might, but I'm gonna sit it out. You know, if that happens, well then, too bad, you know. We're gonna have to do it. I've set myself a challenge to do this, and yeah, we'll do it. Please don't pour down. Please. Please don't pour down. Oh no. Oh no. Haven't even made a shelter yet. I brought a shirt, but I just wasn't wearing it this morning because it was so hot. Now it's freaking cold and raining. It went seriously from 40 degrees sunny, so humid, to pissing down with rain, cloudy and cold. Australia, it's crazy. The storm kind of passed. I couldn't really do much. I just kind of stood in the rain and just you know, it's pretty cold now. I can't believe how much it's changed. It went from 40 degrees sunny to raining, and now it's cold. Like, pretty cold. I'll probably be cold tonight. Made a little spear. That should be good enough and sharp enough to get a stingray, hopefully. I'm gonna start a fire just to keep some of the mozzies away and, you know, have a bit of heat. But yeah, I only have flint and steel, and it just rained. So we'll have a look for some dry stuff, but it's gonna be really hard, I think, especially because it just rained, but we'll try. So I found a little bit of dry stuff. Hopefully it's dry enough, because yeah, it's gonna be hard. Especially with such a big blade. It's gonna be really hard. Thought that was it then. I'm gonna get it, I know I am. I'm close. Yes! 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 Yeah! Come on. Yes! Yes! Oh, I could feel I was gonna get it then. Yes! Woo! Oh yeah! Oh, that is one of the best feelings ever. It's gone straight towards all my gear, which is awesome because the smoke and the heat will dry it a bit from the rain and it'll keep the mozzies away. See, it's catching on the sides, so I'm just gonna kind of move it out a bit. Even though we had bad fires last year, you know, you still don't want to risk it. Just move it out so it can't catch the sides. My campsite is looking alright now. Got the fire going. Machete lodged in there nicely. My spear ready to go. Campsite, my hammock. The reason I wanted to start a fire so early was just to know that I have a fire, you know. I want to know that I can cook something if I catch something, even if it's just oysters, which I know I can get right there down near the mangroves. I wanted just to know, be sure that I could do it. And I was surprised, honestly. It took a while with the flint and steel, I guess, in terms of lighting a fire, but for how damp it was, I'm so surprised that I did it. But now that I know the fire's going, and then if the only thing that can really put it out is rain. If it goes down, I know I can always start it up pretty quickly just with the hot coals and just put some light leaves and stuff on it, which is real good, because if I catch something, I know I can cook it. You know, it's not going to catch on anything there, and it's just perfect because I'm just going to keep adding to it, adding the fuel, so there's heaps of hot coals. So then if something does happen, even if it rains, I should still be able to get it going again with some leaves and some dry stuff on top of the hot coals, because it stays hot for a while. Got that sandfire. I've never really had it. I had a bite just then. Fucking salty. Not much of a taste, but you know, probably better than eating nothing. So we got this. We'll go get some oysters, maybe a stingray if we're lucky, or a mud crab if we're absolutely super lucky. I'm gonna go for a quick look just around camp because the fire's still going, so I don't want to go too far from it. We'll just go have a look for a stingray. There could be one in close. Got the spear with me. Stingray is going to be my easiest target because they just sit in the mud. Could easily find one in here. I hate this. I'm in sinking sand. The water is like 10 centimeters deep, and then when you hit the sand, you just sink down to your undies. Just unbelievable. Yeah, it's raining, but wow. Hammock, fire, smoke keeping the mozzies away, and this is my dinner. Some oysters, some little mussels or whatever they are, some samphire, I think that will be enough. I did bring a little pan just to make life a bit easier. Still had to catch my own food. Still couldn't use a spear gun or whatever. I just brought a little pan just in case I want to cook some things on it, you know. And then I wouldn't waste something. Like if I caught a stingray, I didn't really want to cook it on the fire and just waste it because it'd be hard. It'll sit for a bit and I'll let that fire go down a bit, get those hot coals going, and then we'll do something for dinner. It's raining, so I might just try and cook some dinner and wait it out. The fire's still hot. Just see what we can do. I'm definitely still going to be hungry after this. Got 4 or 5 oysters. Bit of samphire cooking, which I don't even know is even going to taste any good, but it's worth a try. There's usually one spot you can get your knife in that will open an oyster pretty easy. Just got it then. And look at that. Look at the size of the oyster shell, and then look at the size of the oyster. Absolutely tiny, but it's cooked pretty well, so I'm not complaining with a little bit of an oyster. Pretty nice, give me some energy. Better than nothing, I've got to say. I can always rely on getting a few oysters if I'm ever going hungry. See what this stuff's like. Oh! Woo! Sometimes I'm so dumb. That's what I do when I'm hungry. I do dumb things like grab the freaking pan. I don't like it. It's so salty. I really don't like it. It's not bad, but like, I don't really want to eat it. That's what I'm saying. Fire's slowing down. I probably won't start it up again. Those 4 oysters are probably enough to get me to tomorrow morning, and then I'll try a bit harder to get some food because I'm just not too fussed tonight about getting any food. Got a few oysters. There's always things you can eat. Like there's little crabs walking around everywhere, which probably aren't the nicest thing ever because you'd have to eat their guts and stuff. This is the best mozzie repellent you'll ever find. Smoky fire. Right next to the hammock. It's the best I can do to keep all these mozzies away. There's so many and they're absolutely massive. Good morning, guys. It's about 10 AM. Last night was a mess. I thought the first rain, I was like, yeah, it's alright. It's probably the only rain. And then about 10 PM last night, it just set in. Just rained. It wasn't that heavy, I guess. Like, it wasn't pouring down, but it was heavy enough just to soak everything. Like, it soaked my hammock, me, my bag, everything. And I didn't get much of a sleep, you know. I'm really tired. But that's camping. My fire, I just started going again. There was enough hot coals there, even though it rained, to just start again with some dry stuff. So I've got that cranking just to keep some of the mozzies away, even though I did get bit like a million times last night. But it's alright. It's alright. I went for a quick wander around because it's high tide. So if you want to find a stingray, now's the right time. So I might go look soon for some breakfast or some lunch. I'm not too hungry, you know. When I'm camping, I feel like my metabolism slows down and I don't get too hungry. But yeah, last night was a bit of a mess. Didn't get much sleep, but you know, shit happens. Alright, got my homemade spear with me. I'm gonna go look for a stingray for breakfast. I think over on this mud flat part, where it's still part of the main river, I might be able to find a stingray. It's high tide. They should be moving up pretty close to the shore because they can when it's high tide. And I think high tide will be the best chance of finding one. And the water's a bit clearer when it's high tide, so we'll have a look. There's one right there. No way. getting away. I speared him twice. He's pretty injured. Get up there, get up there, get up there, get up there. Get up there, get up there. Got him. Got him. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Holy crap. Sorry, buddy. Oh, I seriously set my camera up to film just to get a bit of footage, and I saw him. I was like, no way. Speared him once. He got off. Speared him twice. He was fairly injured. You'll see in a sec. Holy crap. Little stingray, exactly what I wanted. Oh shit, he squirted on me. Straight through the brain, he's gone. You need to do it quickly as possible for these guys. You can see all his nerves are moving now, but he's dead. We'll get his barb. That's his barb there. You don't want to touch them. They're razor-like. Like, I remember just touching it once like this, thinking like, oh, what's it gonna do? And it just sliced my finger up. I've got these tiny little cuts everywhere on my fingers. They just bled like crazy. So these guys, their flaps is where you can eat. So it's gonna be a bit hard to fill it with this machete, but we'll do the best we can. He's dead, so any movement that you see now is just nerves. He's got a lot of nerves going on. But yeah, it's good that he's out of his misery now. But they're the two flaps. You can't really eat that. So that can go back into the ecosystem for the crabs and stuff. We'll wash these flaps off because they are dirty as. So I'm actually skinning the first flap of the stingray because it's a hard process, but stingrays actually piss through their skin. And it might sound gross. I've ate the skin before, it's not too bad, but it's also their first defense for parasites and all that other stuff. So if you can get rid of it, probably a good idea to get rid of the skin. You can just cook it with the skin on and then pick it off with the fork or whatever pretty easily. But I thought that was going all right, and I'll get the whole thing. So I think I'll just keep doing that until I get the full way. See if I can get that side off, but if not, at least you don't have the skin on there, and then you don't have the slime and all that other crap that comes with the skin. There's one skinned stingray flap, or fillet, whatever you want to call it, skinned on both sides, which takes away that, it's pretty gross taste, I must admit, but you can still eat it with the skin on. Like, it's not going to kill you, but that's going to be a lot more enjoyable, especially when I don't have any spices or anything, than to leave the skin on. You know, it gets rid of that first defense for parasites and stuff, and it's just like just a skin fillet. It's so much better. So we'll do the other fillet, we'll get that over and done with, and by the time we finish that, the fire should be broken down into a fair few coals, hot coals instead of flames, and then we'll start cooking this bad boy. Flip that little one. So I think it's ready now. I just took it off the fire. It looks alright, it's pretty white. Looks alright. I can't say stingray in the mornings gonna be the best breakfast I'll ever eat, but you know, it's better than nothing, I have to say. Alright, time to eat this delicious breakfast. I'm just gonna imagine it's eggs and bacon and pancakes and just anything but stingray. It's usually not that bad. It just tastes like fish. Just a bit stronger of the fishy taste, I guess. So you can see, that's the cartilage there. You can't really eat it. You got a bit thicker there where it's the flap starts, and you've got that real thin part there. I guess you probably could eat it, but you know, there's no point eating it. Nothing beneficial in there. We'll cook up a bit more. I probably won't be able to eat it all, but we'll cook up a bit more, and I'll munch on it a fair bit, and then we'll see what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Probably only stay out here one day, but you know, who cares, it's still a fun adventure. Alright guys, ate a fair bit of that stingray. Couldn't eat it all, but the crabs and stuff will obviously eat it, and it won't go to waste. It'll be back in the ecosystem, but I ate a fair bit of it. Anyway, we'll just, I guess, have an explore further down the river, and just, you know, no stress or anything. We can just do what we want. We've had a good day and 2 days, which is been productive. And yeah, they're laughing at me. You can hear them. Another campsite just trashed. I just don't understand how people can just leave their shit. I'm just gonna say how it is. Shit here. And I'm not gonna be able to take all this, but I'll try to take, I guess, the clean rubbish in my bag. You know, I don't want to make my bag stinky and dirty with someone else's rubbish, but you know, stuff like this I can take without making my bag too dirty. Yeah, it's just disgusting. I hate it. I just hate when people litter. So I'm taking a fair few bottles and shit with me. It's the best I can do, and at least when I get home I can recycle those bottles, so we'll be making the world a bit better of a place. What we've got here is 3 Aboriginal midden sites. You got 1, 2, 3. What Aboriginal midden sites are, it's where they came down from the mountains years and years and years ago, probably thousands of years ago, and this is where they feasted on their shellfish. You can see, I don't really want to touch it, but there's cockles, there's periwinkles, there's everything, and they should be left how they are. That's why I'm not touching it. And yeah, they basically just ate them all down here. These could date back like 40,000 years ago. That's how old they are, and it's crazy to see this much heritage so close to home. And it's cool to see that the only place that these plants are growing, other than the mangroves, is where the Aboriginal midden sites are. It's because there must be a bit more organic matter or something in the soil there, other than just the sand which is here, that lets these plants grow right there and then nowhere else in the salt marsh. And it's cool to see. And I just thought I'd show you guys. Some of you who've been following for a while would have already seen this in my older videos, but I thought I'd show the new guys. And they're just awesome because they could date back so long. If you do come across something like this, an Aboriginal midden site or artifacts or something like that, just leave them how they are, because there's so much history behind it, and it's good to just leave that stuff how it is. Alright guys, I'm almost back in my car. I hope you enjoyed watching me survive 24 hours with only a machete and a few other things, I guess. It's a bit of a lie, but catching food wise, it was just a machete, and I guess 24 hours isn't really survival, but for me it was a good challenge. And as we get better and better, I'll do longer videos and more survival, I guess, challenges for myself. And if you got an idea, comment below, and don't forget, like, comment and subscribe. It really helps out if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. You. Whew.